Hello everybody, welcome back. Bit of an early morning start, but that's fine, that's fine. So let's have a quick look at Bitcoin, shall we? Bitcoin trying to gear back up here on the daily to make a new all-time high. Personally, I think there's a very strong chance that it will do. If we have a quick look at the Dixie here, so the Dixie is broken down to almost the lowest point of this pitchfork tool. However, we are appearing to catch a bounce on that level there. So there is a chance that we do start and carry on with that uptrend. Now, the interesting thing about this Dixie chart, and yeah, whether you guys find this sort of thing interesting, I don't know, but I imagine you would do. If we're going to trade this on the back of this this uptrend that was starting, right, which started all the way back technically in January, right? So we bottomed out in January. We've been in this trend ever since January. This has been going on for a little while now, so 4 months basically. Then over this area here, we've got the conversion baseline on the on the Ichimoku cloud, which has now been cancelled out by this Chiku span touching this price action. Now, I mean, it's the first touch of it. So if we touch it, that's one way to signal that the trend may actually be coming to an end already. If we start to go below the price action, there's an even stronger trend reversal, and if this blue conversion line crosses this red line, it's pretty much a signal to suggest that the trend has definitely come to an end. Doesn't mean that a new trend can't begin shortly. Doesn't mean it's going to dump down into the abyss, but it means that this trend, as far as the signal was concerned over here, has technically come to an end. So I mean, you know, we have got stage one of that end of trend, so that is kind of exciting in a way. So let's think about that in terms of the way that Bitcoin is looking. Bitcoin is primed. We're above all major moving averages. We are slowly crossing up and diverging here ever so slowly on the MACD there. Now, when we have moving averages and MACD that all kind of look like that, it suggests to me that it's a bullish reaccumulation phase, ready for the last, in my opinion, the last big move before a decent consolidation. And I mean like a long-term one. So I don't mean a bear market. I do mean more along the lines of perhaps a couple of months maybe of downwards movement, so a temporary top within a bull trend. All right, so don't shoot me for that, and I don't think it'll be all that bad either. So this is something we've been looking at for a while now. This is a money flow index here on the weekly. We've had a nice trend line ever since this big bull run began, and it's been pretty consistent. It's been going on for a long time. If we come down to touch this, I would be relatively confident to suggest that we are near a bottom. This won't pinpoint a bottom to a penny. This is a ballpark figure that's based upon a volume indicator, so it's not going to give you the perfect entry point. It will give you an idea, and it will help me come to my conclusion of whether or not Bitcoin has bottomed. So first of all, I'm looking for a new all-time high to be set this week, even maybe today. It doesn't mean it's not going to come without some pullbacks. I mean, there's a lot of longs on the board. People are always overexposed on Bitcoin when they're waiting for an all-time high, so I would expect a bit of a liquidity grab, people getting wrecked, and then basically longs stocking up from a lower level, ready for that next big push to the all-time high, which, to be honest, I think is going to actually work out quite well, you know, quite dramatically. So if one way we could look at this is to create some form of wedge formation to give us a rough idea. This is something that we could look at doing, and we do have something along these lines. This is one way we could try and estimate or guesstimate the next top. If we were to break out today, we do the measure move from basically the mouth area there, which would bring us up to around about $75,000 at its top. So for me personally, considering that I'm expecting I suppose a consolidation shortly with Bitcoin, like perhaps maybe a 1 to 2 month retracement larger than these dips that we've had in the past, I think I'm planning on scaling out on the way up bit by bit, just in case. And one of the reasons I'm expecting that is if we go to the weekly here, the RSI is clearly suffering from bearish divergence here, and I mean, it's not very neat there, but essentially 1, 2, and then next time we touch this, I would expect a pullback. And again, this is a weekly, so even these ones have lasted a few weeks to a month. The next one I think was probably going to last a little bit longer. And if we go to the 3 daily, we also have the same kind of vibe going on here. So 1, 2, this one didn't even get to reach it. Maybe this one doesn't reach it either. So there is warning signs, and I've said this for a while now. There are warning signs. It doesn't mean that we can't go to a new all-time high. It doesn't mean that we can't go to $75,000. We can. But we do have to be very careful. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. It's just a very brief update on Bitcoin. It does look very good, very promising. Just be careful if you're going to be doing crazy longs. I mean, I'm not your financial advisor, so obviously you guys trade as recklessly and as carefully as you choose. But for me personally, it's all good things come to those who wait. Spot trading is my main preference. I do some margin, but this is a dirty game, crypto. We don't really need derivatives of cryptocurrency. I mean, there's just what's the thing that attracts us to it in the first place? Enormous gains. Do we really need to amplify those much more? I don't think so. Anyway, have a nice day and take it easy.